Honestly, being grateful for whatever you have. Because when you're grateful for whatever you have, then you won't take anything for granted. And when you don't take anything for granted, you appreciate everything. Whatever comes is a gift, it's a present, it's a God's gift, and it's a blessing. And so when that mindset sets in, then you won't expect anything anymore. And not expecting anything anymore is the greatest power there is, because then you'll have peace with what you have right now, right here, and right as you are, and with yourself. And when you are peaceful with yourself, you will attract more of that inevitably into your life. And that's power. Peace is power. Knowledge is power, but peace is even more powerful, because peace, when it sets in, when it sets inside you, it defines the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the way you represent yourself. And that really shows a great character when someone carries themselves with grace and sophistication, because they have peace in their heart and they don't really seem to strive for more all the time, even though they have they may have goals, they may be working on something, but it's not that, how can I say, it's not that they don't have goals. It's more so that as they work towards their goals, they are constantly giving and giving appreciation and grateful actions towards the world and towards themselves. And so they may come out of center, but they create resolve fast. They come back to center fast because they are laser focused on their goal, and they also try not to sway too much, meaning they try not to stray too much, because when they do that, they lose focus. And they don't like distractions, they like deep work. They're willing to go deep within, and they know that distractions are the enemy of focused, positive work. And of course, they're not afraid to take action either, because taking action is imperative to manifesting your literally everything and anything. But that gratitude is always just so deeply settled in them that it helps them so much in seeing the world in kind of a different lighting, or from a different perspective, really, to the degree that it puts kind of them above others because of the way they see the world, because they take nothing for granted. Why am I saying that it puts them above others? Because of the mere fact that others recognize this gratitude in them, and they start resonating with them, and they uplift each other. When people interact with positive people, the effect is inevitably an uplifting of the soul. So that's why I'm saying that when you're grateful and appreciative of the small things in life and the great things in life and the small things in yourself and the great things in yourself, then it will be reflected in the eyes of others, and they will want to either drag you down on their level or strive to be as good as you. And people like that you want to keep in your life, even if you have few things to learn from them. Because people who want to genuinely, sincerely learn from you, it uplifts you too, right? So when this mutual uplifting kind of interaction happens, it's like magic. And really, although no one is better than anyone else, in some ways, when we learn from each other, we move on scales and we climb ladders and we become higher status and we become better than our version yesterday. And the ability to become better than our version yesterday determines, and listen to this, really grasp this because this is really important. It puts us above others simply because we are introspective and not as competitive. Okay, so the real winners are not the ones who beat others. The real winners are the ones who beat their past selves. Okay, let me say this again. The real winners are not the ones who beat others. They are the real winners. The real winners beat the version of their pasts. Please, for the sake of God, don't expect life to not throw obstacles at you. You know, you have chosen into this life knowing that there will be difficulties. So please, please just try not to give up and do not let fear stop you. It is just very, very important that you keep this in mind and to also allow yourself to mess up and learn from your mistakes. But just know that as long as you don't give up, you have not lost. As long as you keep going, no matter how slow you go. In fact, you don't have to do anything. But even the things you feel like you have the duty to do, in the back of your mind, just know that after all, everything you do every single day, 24/7, it's all happening for you. And whatever you do, you're also doing that for yourself. So, knowing all this, I just say have some dreams that you think life is worth living for, and don't be afraid to chase after them. Sometimes we all have low days, and during these periods, it's best to let ourselves rest and recover and regenerate from whatever we have been through. And no matter the way you express some emotions or let out some unresolved thoughts, you have to take it seriously to let yourself rest, because we all get low sometimes, but that's just part of the game.
the game of life, because life is a game. It's it's not for free. But after all, since it's a game, you don't even have to take it so seriously either. And eventually it's all up to you. So even whatever I say will not matter as much in comparison to your beliefs and your attitude towards life. A positive mindset is the best mindset to have. And to be healthy is to be integrated, meaning you have some parts of you that have been traumatized or have experienced negative outcomes. But those parts become part of you again, basically, by you consciously owning them and even going through the experience or event over again. That is so you change the memory. You relive it, not to suffer again, but to change the negative outcome in the past, of the past. And remember, you're not doing a favor for yourself if you suppress things for too long, because after a while they may have the potential to make you even sicker, not being able to resist the resurfacing of your body, mind, and heart trying to heal. But what you're doing a favor for yourself by is being present with yourself when you need to. And when you're ready, shoulders back, head high, lungs filled with air, and you're more positive than before. Despite and thanks to the crisis you might have been through or the trauma you might have had to experience. Never be afraid to exceed yourself, because it is only by exceeding yourself that you get to experience what is outside of the comfort zone, which, by the way, has its negatives. Staying in the comfort zone is not a free game. In fact, the more discipline you have, the more freedom you have. Staying in your comfort zone comes with a catch. It comes with the illusion of comfort, which is only ever temporary. Uncertainty and unsafety are the most dangerous things someone can endure. However, everything is temporary, and if you have the mindset of a goal, for focusing on a goal and not giving up, and if you have a positive outlook on life, then it will not be a thing for you to overcome obstacles that you think are in your way. Because whatever you choose to want to love to do, you will have the capacity to build from there. And obstacles will fade by in comparison to the motivation and momentum that you live with. So don't just focus positively, but also take action whenever you can and as soon as you can, because opportunities, to be honest, they do always pass by. And they do always come, that is true, but once an opportunity has gone, it may be gone forever. And unless you start from scratch, that opportunity will most likely not be presented to you again in the same way or in the same environmental circumstances. It will be gone. Because of this, even when you do grab the opportunities, you have to hold on to them. Everything in life fades away. I know this may sound like basic cliche advice, but it is true that you can you can absolutely see and look at things as though they are going to fade away. But this does not have to mean that uncertainty and the fear of change and unsafety, be it emotional, relational, mental, or physical, or financial, have to stop you. For a true fighter, death is not scary enough to thrive and strive for a goal, which means if you really do live in the moment, in a way that you forget about the future and the past, you forget about the consequences, which to an extent is okay. All I'm trying to get at is that it's okay if you are so motivated inside that you feel the fear of change and what it might cause you to have to live through in the end. But it's also okay to not choose at all. You do you. But if you want your life to have a trajectory which you can trust and stay accountable based on, and keep yourself accountable, then you have to have a goal that makes your life, your health, your relationships worth living for. Get the relief, get the release. From time to time, it is okay to be low or to let it all pass you by or to let it all go, because you're only doing this for yourself and no one besides you. Even if you are a very, very social member of a species called the human race. After all, we are all socials. Like, we don't really like to be alone, to be honest. But some of us are more on the loner side, and some of us are more like extroverts. But after all, it's always nice to be connected to someone in some way, even if occasionally. So, what I'm saying here is that take into account your needs. If you haven't seen it, then now finally take a look at the Maslow pyramid, which includes all the basic human needs. And guess what? On the very bottom, on the very basic level of these needs are certainty, human connection or connectedness. And then come the food, the water, the shelter. But it's just interesting to get to know how it is not food and water that is on top of all our lists. It's connection. So don't be afraid to let yourself blossom with the help of other people. It is okay to ask for help. It is okay to say what you think or feel. It is okay to feel how you feel and think what you think and do what you do. And sometimes, in fact, we need that third opinion. We need that outside, unrestricted, kind of independent perspective that we would otherwise not get if we were not in active human real-time relationships. So that will help you immensely on your journey, that is for sure. And since taking action usually includes other people or just going outside of your shell or your comfort zone, I am telling you this as a plus. And now this talk has come to an end, and I hope you have a nice rest of the day or whatever you will do tomorrow. Have a nice rest of the week and just keep thriving because you deserve it. You deserve it all. You deserve the best. The best being the most of what you believe you deserve and fight for and get. You deserve all that you can imagine if it is your best. Remember, you are your biggest enemy, and the more you are at the top, the less you compete with others and the more you compete with yourself. Because it's just a general rule that some people never really get out of their zones and they never take that first step, so that the situation presents itself that they are just there on a standard level, but then again, you may already be above them in a way, thanks to your experience, your trials and errors. And then that will mean that it will be nicest